Do you have moments that you'll never forget? Maybe your graduation day, maybe your wedding day, maybe the day your son knocks 4 home runs in the same baseball game. For me, it was when my darling daughter was born. See, I was living in New York City, and I was living with that girl that I had married. And I was sitting on the couch, and I looked over at Jean, who'd been married 3 months, and I said, how long is it going to take us to make a baby? We both got married late in life, and having a family was important to us. And so this was a valid question. And she said, well, you know, I'm older. Fertility drops off the cliff. We might never conceive. But if we got lucky, we might conceive in 2 years. And all of a sudden, my oaky brain calculator kicks in. I'm thinking, 2 years, 365 nights, times 2, that's carry the 1. Wait a minute, that's almost 1,000 nights of making whoopee. I'm in. Of course, now I didn't say that out loud. I turned to my beautiful wife and I said, we probably should get busy then. And we did. And I want to tell you, it was a good 30 minutes later, Jean claims it's 15. She was pregnant. Well, we keep up this routine for the next 3 months until Jean walks through the apartment door and announces, I'm pregnant. And she said at that point, that ends phase 1. I said, what do you mean it ends phase 1? That other stuff is done now. I said, wait a minute, I still got 600 more nights to go. We're moving to phase 2. I said, what is phase 2? Phase 2 is how to have a baby. I said, wait a minute. I come from a long line of people from Oklahoma who have a proud tradition where the men stay in the waiting room and smoke cigars, and the women do the heavy lifting. And when it's all done, we come in and celebrate. And she said, guess what, Joe? That is over. You are now going to be involved. I said, no, Jean, no, stop right there. I know nothing about this stuff. I will get in the way. I will bumble something. I'll probably drop the baby. I don't know. Well, Joe, guess what? I've got a cure for that. You're taking an 8-week Lamaze class. I said, God, are you serious? What is that? I said, they're going to teach us how to have a baby. I said, oh my gosh. I said, well, okay. Why am I doing this? She said, you've already proven you're man enough to father a child. Now you need to prove you're man enough to be a daddy. Oh, crazy. Okay. And she enrolled us in a class on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And for those who are not familiar with New York, that's where the hippies lived. And so we show up, and the first night I remember walking in Laura, our instructor. She's breastfeeding the last of her brood right there in front of us. And I look, and there's another bunch of couples sitting in a circle on rugs in the floor in their apartment. I'm thinking, oh my God, what have I got into? We sat down on the floor, and we learned all about how to have children. There are 3 lessons that stick in my mind and will stick there forever. The first one, where to have the baby. Now, you got to understand, the woman that I married is not an average off-the-street woman. The woman I married is a Harvard-educated, Johns Hopkins-trained neonatologist, newborn intensive care pediatrician. She has forgotten more about having babies than anybody in this room knows, okay? And I'm trying to figure out, why are we here? This is crazy. We're sitting down, where to have the baby. And I said, we're having this in the hospital, aren't we? She said, yeah, but you need to pay attention. Because Laura then told us where to really have a baby, because hospitals were out, forbidden, cold, sterile, corporate. No way. You're going to have the baby in the apartment, right on the floor. You're going to take the shower curtain down. You're going to fold it in the floor. You're going to invite all your friends and neighbors in. And Mom is going to squat over the shower curtain and have the baby. And Dad is going to videotape this whole thing from every angle. so that he can watch it and the family can watch it at every family occasion. Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, graduations, weddings, whatever. Forever and ever. To Gene and I said, are we going to, drive it home that night, I said, are we going to do what? Do we need a new shower curtain or what? Is this happening? No, but you just need to man up and understand there's other ways to do things. Okay, fine. So I got through that one. The second one was what to do with the placenta. I think, wait a minute, the placenta, that's medical waste, right? I mean, it's just going to go in a trash bag somewhere. No, not according to Laura. It's full of nutrients and vitamins and all kinds of wonderful things that can help the mother recover from the stress and strain of having a baby. And you need to bring Tupperware to the delivery room and put it in there and take it home and make stew. At that point, I turned to Jean. I said, these people are cannibals. I'm getting out of here. And I started to stand up, and she grabbed my shirt and pulled me back down the floor. She said, "You're not leaving. We're almost graduated. You're going to stick this out." And I said, "These people are crazy. These are the people my dad warned me about." She said, "You need to man up and understand part of this birthing process is disgusting, okay? And you're going to be there for the whole thing." Okay, fine. And the third lesson that I learned so well was, ironically, painful because it involved painkillers. And see, Laura said any self-respecting woman didn't need painkillers. They could go au naturel. And I thought, really? This is crazy. Again, my dad was right. And to prove how painful this was, Laura went around the circle and pinched every man in the room on the trapezius muscle right here in your shoulder. I recommend you go home tonight and try it on yourself. It's a wonderful experience. And she pinched the hell out. This is a big woman. And she's pinching these guys, and they're screaming and jumping up and down like a bunch of little girls. Okay? And I'm thinking, there's no damn way she's going to see me do that. I'm not. She comes over and grabs my shoulder and starts pinching, and on the inside, I'm jumping up and down and I'm crying. But on the outside, I'm Paul Newman, cool hand, Luke, cool. She goes, "Did that hurt?" I go, "You know, Laura, it was uncomfortable. No doubt about it. It was uncomfortable." And she comes in again and she's squeezing, I'm jumping up and down, I'm crying, I'm going, "Holy smoke, stop it!" But on the outside, I'm Snoop Dogg with a cold Corona. Wow, she backs up and goes down the road and she said, "I ain't never seen that before." I said, "You ain't never dealt with more than Oklahoma before." We're driving home at night and Gene looks at me and goes, "Joe, I've seen you pull some crazy crap before, but that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. That arm will never work again." And she was almost right about that. Well, I'm proud to say that we graduated with honors. And 2 months later, Gene's water broke at 2 in the morning. We jump in the car and go straight to the hospital, past the front door, past the shower curtain, straight to the hospital. And I'm proud to say my training got me through it. We went through 18 hours of long, hard labor, and I was there for every moment of it. I was there when we agreed to get an epidural painkiller because she just couldn't take it anymore and it was ridiculous. And she asked me, "Would you be ashamed of me if I took a painkiller?" And I said, "Are you kidding, lady? They ain't pulling a tooth out of my head without a painkiller." And when Bonnie was born, I was right there. When Bonnie was born. And I remember her emerging. I remember the doctor taking her in his hands, kind of cleaning her up a little bit and turned and gave her to me. The steel line from Forrest Gump. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. And I want to tell you, folks, if you have an opportunity, man up and go in there and help your wife have kids. Thank you.